Good evening and bienvenue, my Rouge Raiders. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge. Yes, surprisingly, I'm not dead. But yes, it's good to be back. But enough about my personal life. Let's get back to the show. This is What If Izuku Midoriya Was Trained by the Wing Knight? Part 2. Where we last left off, he just blew up the zero pointer. Just kaboom. Blew that gun very well up. But now he's back home. He's calmed down and he thinks, I may have showed off a little bit too much. Wing Knight always did tell me he to kind of hold back a little bit, but I'm sure he'd understand the situation. He says, hopefully. He's trying to keep himself calm and relaxed as he keeps up his training in the mirror world. Now, you might be asking, why does he go there to train? Well, for one, there's no one around, which means he can go all out. He just needs to find an area and, well, find targets. And he can let loose with all his fancy free abilities. Plus, it's a good way to travel around the world, considering, it's connected to every location on that side is connected to a location on, well, his side. All he needs to do is find a reflective surface and whoosh, there you go. I know he still needs to travel the distance, but yes. Now, here's the real kicker. He keeps doing this for a couple of weeks, and he finally gets his letter. Oh yes, the UA acceptance letter, where he opens it up and this small holographic disc pops out of, lo and behold, All Might. It turns on and the image perfectly reflects him in a very smaller size. Yes. He goes, Why, hello there, young Midoriya. It has come to my attention that you have, well, performed excellent on the theoretical course, and as well on the practical course, breaking quite a few records. Therefore, I am happy to inform you that you will be going to Class 1A. So welcome, young Midoriya, to Your Hero Academia. Izuku smiles and goes, okay, so they don't blame me completely for blowing up the arena slightly. What was that? Nothing, Ma. As he kind of just is very, very happy at this. But we're going to take a pause on, well, young Midoriya. And, jump back to Wing Knight. Oh, yes. As Wing Knight is riding through the city of the reverse world, there are several explosions going off, and several of which are close by. As he gets, well, as we focus out of view from him, we see there's someone behind him. There's someone chasing him. Someone in very, very dark purple armor. As Wing Knight goes, damn it, got too careless. It's okay, I just need to focus, come on. I'm not going down like this. As he increases the speed and keeps on driving away. Now we cut back to Izuku. As it's the next day, and Izuku is, well, gotten ready, he's put on his uniform and all that, and honestly, it's a bit tight on him. Like, ever since he started training with Wing Knight, his body's a bit, well, he's a lot more ripped than you would believe. Like, oof, taller, stronger, all that. Yeah, he's quite ripped. As the uniform is having a hard time, well, containing it, you could say. It's almost as if they got him a size smaller than what he's supposed to, it feels. So he goes to the school. And he's looking around, trying to figure out, where in the hell am I supposed to go? Where? And, well, he keeps wandering. He keeps wandering and wandering and wandering until the bell rings. He's late. As in Class 1A, Aizawa is, well, eventually calling for class, and he notices one of the seats in his class are empty. So what's a man to do? Well, simple. He contacts, well, Nezu, saying, I think one of our students is a no-show. Oh? And why is that? He's not here. Oh, come now. I'm sure there has to be a good reason for it. Says, yep. If you can't contact him quickly, I'm going to I'd say drop him. If he can't show up on this first day, there isn't no real reason as, well, he says that. Everyone begins to notice something strange. They hear something strange as they all look outside and hear the roar of an engine, the roar of a motorcycle. As Izuku got fed up trying to figure out which way, how to figure out this, well, bleeping maze of a school, he just said, okay, I got an idea. He went outside, grabbed his motorcycle, revved it up, and, well, based on what he was able to find, found the windows of Class 1A. And he started to rev up his engines. As he goes full speed. and I do mean full speed. As right when he is about to hit the wall, he pulls up as fast as he can. He pulls up and says, Kamen Rider, Bull Knight, and transforms on his ride. Oh yeah. And he uses his, well, as he pulls out this card and loads it up. All anyone can hear over the roar of the engines is strike event. And this large metallic gauntlet flies in out of seemingly nowhere and attaches itself to, well, Izuku's primary arm, where these two horns stick off to the side as he's riding up, steadily losing traction on his ride. He jumps off. He jumps off of it and impales the wall with the horns of his strike vent. And wouldn't you know it, the place where he impales it is right above, and I do mean right above, Classroom 1A's windows. As his ride falls, well, let's just say, before it can even hit the bottom, he's grabbed onto the ledge and I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but yes. He's grabbed onto the ledge, takes out his pistol and fires 3 shots into the ground, right below where his ride's going to land, in near millisecond timing, causes the ground to stir. And as his ride lands, well, let's just be glad he has good shocks, because it lands hard, but other than some maintenance he's going to have to perform due to those blasts adjusting its trajectory, it seems perfectly fine. As he swings in through the window and de-transforms. Oh, I am so sorry I'm late. You have no idea how big of a maze this place is. As everyone just sits there flabbergasted, Aizawa's going, "You couldn't just ask for directions." Where Izuku facepalms like, "I honestly didn't think of that. You didn't think about asking for directions, so instead you went outside and drove your motorcycle into our window." "Well, I didn't drive it into our window." "Shut up, you're already on my shit list." Apologies. Apologies ain't cutting it. Yeah, you just caused a major distraction and more than likely traumatized a few students on the other levels. Yeah, that traumatizes them. They aren't really fit to be heroes. You know, I want to hate your logic, but at the same point in time... As he looks around and says, "Sorry about that." Aizawa contacts Nezu saying, "Don't send security outside for the disturbance. That was the student coming in. He was that late, he decided to go in through the window." No. According to him, he was already here. He just couldn't find the class, so he decided to find it exteriorly instead of interiorly. I see. I'm going to review the camera footage and see if that's true, but, seems like you'll at least have an interesting student, Aizawa. Yeah. I hate this place sometimes. Alright, all of you, get ready. We're going. Going where? With the quirk assessment. Come on. But don't we have to go to the, orientation? I say where we go, when we go, how we go. You ain't going to that thing. We're going to give you some practical use. You're heroes of 1A. So, time you start acting like it. Works for me. Izuku's the first one to get going. He says, hold it. Yes. If you're gonna keep going around with that type of direction in this place, you at least need a guardian. You ain't going anywhere by yourself. I don't need another repeat of that. It's like, oh, come on. Okay, fine. As well. He's given as Oraka basically walks over and says, sure, let's find this place out together. Right. Thanks. No, thank you. Remember you saved me from the 0-pointer thing. Yeah. How are you feeling from that anyways? Good. Glad to hear. And well, they find the locker room quite easily. They each go into their appropriate sides, same with everyone else, and begin to get changed. As everyone's noticing as Izuku takes off his gear, or I say his clothes, he is ripped beyond all standard belief. Like even Bakugo's looking at this going, the hell? Like, hold up. Like, I knew you were strong, but you were hiding all of that with your baggy clothing. Like, not so much baggy, but kinda, yeah. It's like you got even farther. Like, what the hell happened to you? A lot. Kinda. A lot. As well. Kirishima says, very manly. I approve. You approve? Yes. Well, to be fair, I can't deny that. You also look very good yourself, man. Thanks, as they fist bump. And, well, that's when Izuku begins to notice something strange in the corner of his eye. A tiny, purple-haired individual staring at a wall, examining it thoroughly as he gets closer and closer, pressing his eye against the wall itself. As Izuku says, oh no. And he walks over and taps the unknown student on the shoulder. Hey man, what you doing? Oh, nothing. Just, admiring the detail and stability of this, wall here. Uh-huh. How come I don't believe you? It's like, oh, no, there's no reason not to believe me. Oh, really now? He pulls out a card. And, let's just say he's figured out a bit of the partial transformation sequences. He slides it in and everyone can hear strike vent. As, yet again, the mechanical gauntlet appears out of thin air. as the tips of the horns are, well, keep the poor little man pressed against the wall, each point on either side of him, as the barrel of this thing is pointed straight at its face. You sure you ain't lying to me? It's people. Hmm? It's a people. Other side of the wall is the women's changing room. Don't kill me. Izuku! Hmm? He turns around and sees, well, a blue-haired, four-eyed individual walking closer to him. Is that really necessary? I mean, kinda. Otherwise, he's going to keep on doing it. Sometimes you need to put the fear of God into your enemies. Now, note, I wouldn't actually kill him. I would make him go unconscious for the rest of the day. That's going a bit too far. You're supposed to be a hero. Heroes don't kill. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Yes. Yes, they do. What do you mean? Okay. Take a few of the top 10 heroes. They literally possess powers equivalent to that, quirks equivalent to that of nuclear weaponry. All Might can change the weather with his punches. Endeavor literally summons flames and can control them to a refined degree. However, he can also create giant effing explosions. Miriko can quite literally, well, break every bone in a person's body using just her athletic ability alone. And she moves at extreme speeds faster than that of most vehicles. So are you telling me that over their entire career, fighting impossibly strong and impossibly durable villains, that there hasn't been one incident where they've had to actually kill one, or actually had to strike one with enough force to break the majority of their bones and lost them on the way to the hospital? Or something along those lines. Because if you do believe that, you're an idiot. As much as I don't like to kill, I also know that there's always a time and place for something like that to be needed. But most importantly, I know not to look at it as if it's some kind of taboo. You need to be prepared for this type of crap. That's the harsh reality of being a hero. It's not to decide when someone lives or dies. It's to be able to fight and protect those, even if you have to kill. Understand? Mr. Ida, who couldn't even charge forward to try and save a girl? Fine. As for you, Pipsqueak, I see you're trying something stupid like that again. Me and you are gonna have some beef. Okay. Okay. Anyways, he snaps his fingers and, well, the standard Izuku goes back to being the standard Izuku. Just bleeping ripped. As he finally gets to dress up and walks out the room. As everyone's kind of going, okay then, that's a hell of an impression. And all the girls on the other side are, wow, that was something. As, well, Momo recovers the wall, making sure to block that peephole once and for good. Now the real fun starts. The quirk assessment. As the ball throw. Izuku is called forward and given the ball, considering he scored the highest on the practical exam. Throw it as hard as you can using your quirk. Can't do that. What do you mean? My quirk's a support type. Technomancy. A little lie they came up with. Technomancy? Yes. As goes back into his head and memories. If someone asks you what your quirk is, you reply with technomancy. Basically, you created this. And, well, after some period of time and skill, you were able to refine this armor and put it into this type of packaging. However, if you want me to use this, he pulls out his changer. Then I'll gladly do that. As he says, Kamen Rider, Bull Knight. As the lightning arcs from the device attaching to his waist, creating the buckle as he slides it in and boom! Changes completely into his Bull Knight splendor. May I? Sure. As everyone's kinda, freaking out at this, he just grabs the ball with his offhand and he passes it in back and forth between his off and regular, as then he tosses it one last time into his standard firing hand, as he rears back and fires it off. Goes 100, 150, 175 meters. However, right as it's beginning to dip, right as it begins to slow down, right as it begins to decrease its arc, everyone can only hear a as he quickly, almost with lightning proficiency, draws his cannon, or rather I should say his pistol. Considering the size of that thing, it's a hand cannon, come on now. And fires one shot. Boom! As they see a blur of yellow energy fly forward and impact the ball. 2,576 meters. Not too shabby. As he twirls it around like a cowboy in the Old West and puts it back on his hip. Walking back to the class. As everyone's kinda Who's next? As Bakugo gets up there and he obviously lets it rip. He fires that thing out with full force, not wanting to be shown up by Deku, as he goes 2,577 meters. He goes, "Ha! Eat that, Deku! Eat that!" It's like, okay. So you were able to surpass one of my weakest shots. Good job. Why didn't you go full throttle if that's the case, young Midoriya? As they hear a voice behind them. All Might is there. People somewhat freaking out as Izuku goes. Most of my stuff is meant to blow stuff up. If I were to use something that of a bit of a higher caliber, like even then, this pistol was put on like 1/10 setting to make it non-lethal. If I wanted to use it on full setting, it would have vaporized the poor ball. If I were to bring out something that's really powerful, yeah, ball go bye-bye. Ball and possible buildings behind ball go bye-bye. Like, no. So you know restraint. Well, I kinda have to. As Bakugo's just going, suck up. I hear that, Kachan. I'm gonna murder you. Anytime, anywhere, Kachan. I'm ready to throw down wherever you are. Oh, Oh, you're asking for it. Oh, I'm not asking for it, Kachan. I'm begging for it. The only thing is, who's gonna give it to me? It's like, oh, you bastard. I am going to enjoy wiping that smug look off your face. To be fair, you can't really tell it's a smug look considering, ding ding ding, the high-grade, bulletproof, blast-proof, and bomb-proof armor I'm wearing. You know, unlike you who's exposing all their fleshy bits for me to take pot shots at. As they both get a bit irritated and are, well, Izuku's irritated. Kachan's fucking losing it. Katsuki is fucking losing it. He is really, really ticked off. Like, full on red, head full red with rage. You can see steam popping out of his ears. Like, oh, he is mad. As Aizawa says, knock it off! Right. I apologize, Izuku says. Same for you, Bakugo. Fine. As the rest of the course goes as planned, as All Might's watching in, curious about Izuku. It comes to the, race portion. They begin to run. Ida fires off his engines at full speed. However, as he's running, he realizes Izuku is quite literally right there beside him, only slightly lagging behind, as he keeps up the pressure, and dum 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 dum, as he sees, with every imprint of Izuku's feet on the ground leaves a large hole of obviously, an imprint of a large foot, his, as they charge forward. Tenya just barely crossing that finish line before Izuku. It comes to the side-to-side jumping. Obviously, Mineta takes this one. However, everyone's noticing that Izuku, when it comes to side, he is kind of like a bull. He ain't too fantastic at that. So they say, finally, you found a weakness. Comes to the strength portion. Oh my god. This is not good. Because as soon as he grabs that machine, bang! Yeah. Izuku just grabs that thing and it go boom. It breaks apart completely. Like it shatters under his immense touch. As they have to go get a bigger one. And eventually, after the third machine, they're able to find something that measures his strength properly. As with the Common Rider armor, your strength is, well, at minimum, doubled to tripled, depending on what it is. With Bull Knight, it's a solid triple. With a Bull Knight, he's able to, well, at bare minimum, punch through concrete with ease, much less any minor enemies. However, with that power comes some drawbacks. As All Might goes, In his mind, he thinks maybe he's a worthy successor. Because he still hasn't picked one. Like, Night Eyes told him to pick Mirio, but he's going, I don't know. He's already a third year. Let me think on it. But now the real fun begins. Oh, yes. And again, forgot for the ball throw, yes, Uraraka still took the W in that because anti-gravity. But anyways, as we get to the long jump, well, Izuku backs up, he stretches. Oh, this is gonna be funny, as Bakugo says. That armor obviously can't support, obviously it would be too much for him. He's just gonna barely get, 3 meters, if that. As Izuku chuckles, like, oh, you underestimate my power. As he backs up completely and stomps onto the ground, making, well, some big footprints as he gets into a good running position. Aizawa says, go! And he charges. He charges straight up and fast as he runs all the way to the line. And when he gets to that line, he launches. He launches high into the air. A solid 10 meters. But he ain't done. As he quickly detaches his pistol, slides open the magazine, and pulls out. As suddenly they all hear, shoot vent. As 2 large cannons begin to form over his shoulders as he dips down, and fires them both at point-blank range into the ground itself, sending him vaulting skywards at a slight angle, as, well, everyone has to clear and try and shove away the dust, as Aizawa's been trying to eliminate his quirk, to shut it down as soon as he heard shoot vent. But he can't. He can't eliminate this quirk. As then he remembers in his mind, oh, technomancy. Technomancy? Yes. I use my quirk to create things like this armor. It's not a quirk. It's a side product of a quirk. As soon as he launches skywards high enough, he lands on the other side after dismissing the cannons. And he turns around, pulling out his pistol and holding it up in that pose, going before pointing it skywards. How was that? Very reckless, young Midoriya. As All Might approaches him. You could have hurt people. I had the #1 hero here. Obviously, there was no chance of that. Secondly, I'm pretty sure I held back about half the cannon's power. So, obviously, there wouldn't have been too big of a spill out. And 3, well, if they're crazy enough to approach a guy whose main things is guns, guns, and more guns. Maybe they shouldn't be trying to get in the way of that. Very crude of you, young Midoriya. Possibly, but at least I speak the truth. I may be blunt, but just like a bull, I stick to my path and walk down it, not letting anything get in my way for too long. Very well. Fall back in line. Yes, sir. As he disengages the armor and everyone's kinda... Yeah. After the assessments is over, well, the threat of expulsion's in the air. Dangling like a fish above a shark tank. As he looks over the material, well, it looks as if Mineta, you are expelled. What? I'm joking. But no, you're not in here. You're being dropped into one of the lower classes. I can't expel you. You got here on your own merits. But I can replace you, considering, yeah, you could have been falsely graded. Which in this case, during the examinations, well, you most definitely were. You would not survive this class long term. You're being forced into another one. But that's not enough. Don't worry. You'll still be here, but you won't be in this class. Oh yes, I'm replacing people. As well, with that, I think I'll end this here. Have a good one, guys, and thank y'all for listening. For this has been your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge. Au revoir.